Fajnie.
What do you know about social realism films?
I know that they show realistic situations and are normally based on working class families and deal with real life issues such as drug abuse or domestic violence.
Do you feel that Empty fits the social realism genre?
Yes, because it contains typical themes like social realism, like alcoholism and domestic abuse.
From a narrative point of view, does it make sense?
No, you don't really get a sense of empathy because not enough domestic abuse happens to feel sorry for the character.
What did you like about the film?
I liked that it was black and white and the makeup when she got a black eye was quite realistic.
What do you think could be improved?
There was a bit in the middle of the film when it wasn't in black and white, and that made it like just seems a bit odd in the middle of the film. And like Kerry said about the lack of empathy for the character.
Thank you. What do you know about social realism films?
They focus on taboo subjects, usually filmed quite sort of dark settings, a lot of subjects that are not really covered in the big blockbuster films. And they are also usually use actors that are not professional.
Yeah.
Also quite amateur.
Yeah. Do you feel that Empty fits the social realism genre?
Yeah, I do. It's alcohol, sort of alcohol abuse and sort of domestic abuse.
Yeah.
So we've sort of got two different categories there. I think it fits the genre quite well. The way it's filmed with the black and white, and also a lot of the less dialogue when it's part of the webcam scenes. But I think it fits it quite nicely.
From a narrative point of view, does it make sense?
Yeah, it's quite clear that she's have troubles at home, which reflects on her schoolwork, and especially when she literally says in the webcam footage that it's affecting her life. So it's quite clear that she's quite troubled. It does just affect her home life.
Yeah. What did you like specifically about the film?
Some nice shots at the beginning with the wine glass. The scenes at the window are quite well shot with the cigarette.
Yeah.
And also the webcam scenes, the effects are quite good, especially for black and white, showing that it's different from real life.
What do you think could be improved from the film?
I think it could be maybe more in terms of the stair scene with the mum and the daughter. It could be a little bit more
dramatic and
a little bit more violent, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it just looks like a normal argument between mum and daughter. It's nothing that different. Whereas if you compare it to something like a fish tank with the scene, there's actually physical violence there.
Yeah.
Whereas in your one, it's just something she gets pushed up against the wall.
Yeah.
But I think that scene could be improved. But other than that, there's not much else to think of.
Okay, thank you. What do you know about social realism films?
Social realism films relate to like real life situations. They usually use like kind of like naturalistic lighting and stuff like that.
Does Empty fit social realism genre?
Yeah. Also it kind of stays away from the genre because you don't usually get social realism films that are based like purely on webcams.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite effective.
From a narrative point of view, does it make sense?
Yes. You understand the storyline so well because it's based on the webcam. You see like each part of the story from her perspective as well, which is quite effective.
Yeah. What did you like about the film?
I like the acting style. I like the main character and Harriet's acting. I think she's quite effective. Like she's realistic. I like the smoking scene out the window. I think even though there's no dialogue, you just know what's happening in her mind. Yeah, and I like the when she comes in with the black eye and how it changes from it gets smaller during times. You can notice the time difference.
Yeah. What do you think could be improved about the film?
I think the argument between the mother and daughter can be changed, like the dialogue, which is like, Kaylee, what are you fucking saying? Or whatever that is, that can be changed. I think it's a bit, that's the only unrealistic bit in the whole film, I'd say.
Yeah. Thank you. From my target audience research, I found that most of the audience didn't really like the fact that it was black and white but had a few scenes of colour. They felt that if it was to be black and white, it should have all been black and white, or if it was to be between black and white and colour, it should have had like an even balance. Although most of the audience did like the fact that the webcam shots had the effect on it, so you could tell that it was a webcam shot. However, from the target audience feedback, I did feel that Empty fit the social realism genre with the generic themes and conventions. Most of the audience who I got feedback from felt that it did fit this genre, and it followed generic themes and conventions such as the alcoholism and the everyday life issues. Also, I found the target audience felt that the fight scene on the stairs was a bit too pretend and false. They felt that because it was based on domestic violence, the scene was a little bit too everyday life argument. It wasn't really a lot of abuse, and the scene itself, like the dialogue itself, didn't really seem that good. It seemed really false and not as if a proper argument. Also, most of the audience found that the story was easy to follow, and they knew what was happening throughout the film through the dialogue. Where you've got Kaylee sitting in the webcam talking, and she's giving a like direct output of what's going on, and the audience are like kept up to date with what's actually happening and how she feels alone.